by the way.
Oh, damn it. All
Welcome to
right.
MMA on the Rocks. My name is Bill Welker. You are listening to Picks and Pours, episode 37. Unless you're catching the show live on Facebook or YouTube, we're no longer welcome on the X platform. And I don't know why. I wasn't given a reason, but we got the boot from X. That's the platform that doesn't like us this month. Today's Thursday, August 22nd. We are still pretty fresh off of UFC 305, and we're going to be talking about UFC Vegas 96, giving you guys some betting picks. But before we get to any of that, I have to introduce the man who's going to be giving the picks, along with his trusty companion in the background there, Matt the Mechanic. What's going on, Matt? And Darce?
What's up, Bill? I'm doing pretty good this week. Jiu-Jitsu's been a fun week. It's always good fun the week after ADCC because everyone's trying this fancy shit they saw. You know, all the white belts and blue belts, they watch ADCC and they're trying all these crazy leg entries, and you just got to smash them down and be like, quit that shit.
Yeah. Was there a lot of leg lock stuff at the jiu-jitsu stuff this weekend?
You know, it's trending away. I think, definitely. I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like 8 years now, and I see the cycle, you know, like when I started, the leg locks were the cool, and now it's like, you know, a top pressure game. I do have to tell everybody, CJI, or the Craig Jones Invitational, is worth watching, even if you're not a practitioner, but especially if you're a practitioner. But it is a little long. I had to put one match to watch. It's Cade Rotolo versus Andrew Tackett. I think that's the most exciting grappling match I've ever saw. That's my new go-to. If somebody wants to know, hey, what's jiu-jitsu, I'm going to reference this one because it's free on YouTube. But it was a great performance. I mean, I had people over at my house Saturday night when we were watching the CJI, and then the main UFC card came on, and everyone wanted to just keep watching CJI, which was pretty interesting to me.
If people want to know about jiu-jitsu, you could say, watch this match. And after 12 years of hard work and dedication, you'll be able to understand it, but you still won't be able to do this.
Yeah, that's what my friend was like, is this what you do? I'm like, well, it's what I try to do, but it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, it's like if you play rec league basketball and somebody watches like LeBron James dunking over 5 guys, and they're like, is this what you do? Kind of.
That's the idea. It just doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. That's the best analogy I could come up with.
Maybe I should just say, yeah, that's what I do. Because the people I'm showing these videos to, I've been trying to convince to come try jiu-jitsu, and if that's what they like, then yeah, that's what you'll be doing. And
yeah,
I guess before they realize that they won't ever do that, they'll be hooked.
Yeah. You say, like, listen, if you and I grappled, I would look as good as these guys.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And then, some of them were like, well, how long do you think you would last in this match? And I think Nicky Rod was in the finals, and I'm like, well, depends how much I want to run.
Yeah, it's it's a different level. And then, obviously these guys are training 7 days a week, multiple times a day. They're injecting themselves with all kinds of performance enhancing drugs. It's not the and then most of them are in their 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, and not all of them. Wagner got silver at ADCC this weekend, but that's probably because most of that weight class was gutted and over with Craig Jones. But
how old is Wagner Ocha?
I don't know. What should be my age?
He's probably 40.
That's pretty close to my age.
Pull that up real quick. Closer to my age.
42. Wow.
All right. And he got silver at ADCC?
Correct. But that was the weight class that Craig took all the big players from. Not all of them, but it's still pretty impressive. He was looking good. I like how violent. He's violent as hell when he grapples.
Oh yeah, I like Wagner's style a lot. He was fun to watch as an MMA fighter too.
Yeah, but the CGI, I mean, I can't recommend enough just to go watch the pacing. I mean, the
CJI.
CJI, Craig Jones Invitational.
Yeah.
Just look on B Team Jiu Jitsu's YouTube page. They've broken down the good matches. So, I mean,
Okay.
the overall thing is like 14 hours or something. But
They portioned it out for you.
well, they got the matches that are worth watching. The Craig Jones versus Gabby Garcia was funny.
I watched I watched them walk out. Like I saw him come out in his speedo, and then he put his shorts on. I like how he chugged the bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, and then like during the match, his coach, I'm not sure who this guy is. It's the guy that was interviewing the two and all the viral clips. They gave him a microphone and he was coaching Craig while the match was going. It was hilarious. It was just, I mean, I guess we always wonder what it makes to make grappling exciting, and I think the answer is put $1 million at the end of the tournament.
Yeah, and
And
chug
then
some whiskey before you get out there. I'm on board
yeah,
with that. I want to make a meme out of that. You got to remind me. Craig Jones chugging the whiskey before he gets on the mat. And it's going to be
yeah.
me about to crush some white belts at open mat.
It was overall it was great, and I was able to watch both events. Craig didn't really take away much other than the athletes. I mean, the ADCC had a great turnout, some great matches. Gordon's
Hmm.
still the best, you know, even though he doesn't look like he does used to.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting older too. I mean,
I
how,
mean,
how
he's
old is he? He's
30, 30 maybe.
okay. He's 30, but, you know, all the heavy training and all the steroids, all the antibiotics, like all that shit's going to age you quick.
No, he's 29.
29. A lot of drama going on with that guy lately, huh?
I don't know. It's a bit too soon to talk about that drama.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep that. We'll keep that in the back pocket. But some serious accusations come in the way of the King Gordon Ryan there, and maybe just to take some of the wind out of his sails for his big win. But you know,
Yeah.
we'll keep an ear to the streets and see what we can dig up for you guys, and we'll address that at a later date.
It was really interesting to watch how, like, so apparently the story was Danaher was trying to convince him to pull out because of his medical issues, like 4 weeks ahead of time, going
Mhm.
as far as contacting ADCC and saying, "Hey, you better find a replacement. My guy's not making it." And he made it, and you could tell something was wrong. But he went to like the basic, just top pressure, you know,
Mhm.
game, and it still worked. I mean, whatever strategy he implies, he seems to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, he's just that much better than everybody else. But yeah, you gotta wonder how long is he gonna be able to hold up? And I don't mean skill wise. Like I think he's always gonna be leagues ahead of everyone else skill wise, but all the stuff with the overuse of the antibiotics and the steroids and that stuff all catches up with you pretty quick. And the body can only take so much.
Yeah, well, fortunately now, really all he has to do is show up every 2 years and do 2 matches in a weekend. So that's all that's needed to stay on top, technically. So he can take a bunch of time off and come back when he's
Yeah,
31.
but he won't. And also, is he going to continue doing this damage to his body? You know? Yeah, he got real sick for a while, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure he's the sickest he's ever been was just recently, like as of 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
Maybe not like his hospital stints, but yeah, it seems like heavy lies the crown, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him now because he's just expected to annihilate everybody. And that's that's a heavy cross to bear. In any case, I've been having a little fun on social media lately, Matt. You probably have seen
Yeah, I
doing
like the
these commentary voiceovers, and I have so much fun with them, and they seem to do better than all the posts that I put a lot of time and effort into. And all
Yeah,
I
well,
do is I
because I mean,
find, a short clip and I do a fake play-by-play commentary over it, and people seem to enjoy it. The last couple have been a little raunchy, I have to admit, and I've noticed something. My follower count dropped, but the views increased and the shares on the post increased, which tells me that people like that kind of humor and they watch it and they share it in their DMs, but they don't like it and they don't follow over it because there's some kind of shame involved in liking stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know, but and I try to keep things like pretty PG-13 most of the time, but you know sometimes you gotta throw a C word in there.
yeah, well, but also how many? We share a lot of stupid reels back and forth. Like
Hmm.
on the stupid funny ones, how often do you check out that account?
That's true. That's a
You
good
never
point.
do.
That's a good point. So the question becomes, do you make the quality content and try to build the following, or do you make the silly slapstick comment and get a lot of views? And I guess I'm playing with that balance a little bit.
Yeah, I think you keep the same strategy you've been implying the whole time, but when there's low hanging fruit, like a coach grabbing the cock of a champion that has all these weird accusations and video of mouth kissing and all this weird shit,
Hmm.
you take advantage of that one. Because I mean,
Yeah,
what's going on there?
yeah. Let's get into that a little bit. What's up with Dricus Duplessis' coach there? I mean, it seems to be like, all right, it's a cultural thing. They, apparently they kissed the father figures on the mouth in South Africa.
Which I'd
All
buy
right,
that.
all right. But then he's like, he's pulling his shorts off, and he doesn't just pull them off. He drops to his knees in front of him and like sensually pulls him down, I think fair to say. And then, does a little cup adjustment. I mean, I've cornered fighters. And as a corner man, you have your eyes on a lot of things. I have never, in my history as a coach, in sparring or anything, felt the need to adjust one of my fighters' athletic supporter.
I look at it a bit differently. I mean, I could see maybe some sort of a wardrobe malfunction and something that is discussed in the back. Hey, now hold on. That's if that was the only instance of this. Like, oh, hey, I get my, it's they give me small shorts this time. My damn cup keeps going over, my nut. But that doesn't. Could you check that for me when I go? But if
Yeah.
you add that to the other things, it just starts to
Yeah.
seem a bit weird. Like
Yeah.
all of them are one off, or like, oh, all right.
And I think it probably would have been just glossed over if it wasn't for the other stuff. But now people are looking. People have the magnifying glasses out. And to be fair, I didn't notice it. Somebody else pointed it out. And when they did, I capitalized and, screen grabbed that clip and slowed it down. And I tried to make it like I was casually mentioning it in the play-by-play, which was really difficult to do. I have to say, most of the time on the commentary voiceovers, one or two takes. This one took me a few because I couldn't get through it without laughing.
Well, because he did it perfectly, like you were the announcer of the fight. I mean, and I showed it to a couple of guys at work, and they were like, I could tell at first they thought it was the actual announcing, and they're like, "What are you showing me here?" And then it goes to the cup grab, and they're like, "What's going on here?"
I'm glad to hear that because that's exactly what I was going for.
Yeah, it definitely worked, and then you go right back to the ad. That was my personal favorite one of your, you know,
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, tell those guys to hit the like button, will you?
the weird thing is most people I know in real life aren't on social media at all.
Yeah, I think that like a lot of the happiest, most well-balanced people aren't, is what I find. And
Yeah.
the people with the most, you know, social anxiety and other issues are really into it. Um, I try and just like I don't stay on there too much. I don't obsess over it. I just kind of like post what I need to do, and I don't even like opening TikTok. Like sometimes I'll post on there just because I feel obligated, but I don't like to look at that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only on Instagram and Facebook for Facebook Messenger. I don't even know what TikTok looks like in the app, but
Hmm.
yeah, I have to say these guys that aren't on social media, they seem pretty chill, and they actually don't have any idea what's going on, but they seem fine. Like,
Yeah, yeah, that's the way to be. You don't want to be stressing about it. I mean, if you stress about every little thing going on in the world, there's just no way to be happy. I mean, because there's a lot of bad shit going on, including right outside our front doors here. But that's not the stuff we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about mixed martial arts and some whiskey. Are you sipping on anything over there?
yeah, I got your Weller, the Weller you brought for me.
Ah, nice choice. So the Weller Special Reserve, well, one of my personal favorites, and the Weller is so hard to come by, especially here in Florida, because there's an evil corporation known as ABC Liquor Stores in the state of Florida that has an exclusive contract with the Weller brand. So they're the only store in the state of Florida that's allowed to carry it as of now. I think that contract
Bastards.
ends pretty soon. And they don't put it on the shelf. You can't ask for it. They have it in a vault. And to get access to the vault, you have to spend a minimum of $2,500 within a calendar year at their liquor store just to have access to see what they have in the vault to be able to purchase it, which is just it should be criminal.
Well, it is in some states, right?
Yeah, I mean, some states are state regulated, so the distilleries don't like to send a lot of allocated stuff to those states because I don't know, it's a pain in the ass to deal with the government regulations and stuff. So I don't know. I'm making my way to Kentucky at the end of November. I'm going to see if I can get to the bottom of this. I'm going to see if I could scoop us up some rare whiskeys to talk about here.
Yeah,
Um,
shit. Maybe talk to Weller, or maybe get the Florida contract somehow.
yeah, let's see if I can iron that out.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
So
cool.
the Weller brand comes out of Buffalo Trace, which I do plan to visit. Um, yeah, and yeah, let's see if I can.
Yeah, drop him a business card.
Yeah, let's see if I can get in there. I did have a relationship with Buffalo Trace. I was in communications with the CEO actually early on in the days of MMA on the Rocks when I was first starting to do the cocktail content and stuff. And he would take my cocktail videos if I used Buffalo Trace products and he would push it out to their social media. And that's how I got a little bit of my initial following. But that relationship just kind of faded a little bit, but maybe I should reach out again and
Yeah,
see if I can
maybe they could
accomplish
use a
something.
bump from MMA on the Rocks.
Huh?
Maybe Buffalo Trace could use the MMA on the Rocks bump.
Oh, yeah. They're struggling.
Yeah,
They only have Joe Rogan promoting them. So,
yeah, you gotta get some real advertisers.
yeah, exactly. All right. Let's we're 20 minutes in here. Let's talk a little MMA. We got how'd you do on your bets last week? Not too good, huh?
We didn't do too good, Bill.
But at
We'll
least
do
it was a
better this
fun
week.
card.
Oh, it was awesome. The fighting nerds. The boys can fight.
Man, I gotta say I was impressed with what's his name? Pratis?
Yep.
His Muay Thai, very smooth. Very smooth. When I saw his record, I thought this guy was gonna come out guns blazing. He was actually pretty patient.
Yeah, he seems like he seems like there's a lot of up and comers in the UFC that are really dangerous, but he sticks in my mind as one of the guys that isn't still like a deer in the headlights. Like he understands the stakes and he's patient, and I think he's gonna go far.
Yeah, agreed. I'd say throw him right into the top 15. Let's just hit the gas on this guy.
Well,
All
speaking
right.
of fighting nerds, let's start at the main event. We got
That's
another one.
exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. So UFC Vegas 96. Back at the Apex, we have Jared Cannonier against one of your fighting nerds fighters, Cal Borjalho. Now, I have a feeling I know which way you're going to go on this one. And, man, Cannonier is coming off of a TKO loss. First time he's been finished in a long time, I think. And Borjalho has just been on a hot streak, coming off of a TKO win over Paul Craig. So, but Cannonier's ranked higher. He's been in more high-profile fights. I would imagine the odds makers still put Borjalho at a slight favorite.
Yeah, big favorite. Minus 245.
Say that again?
Minus 245.
Wow.
Opposite of plus 200.
Man, Jared Cannonier in a main event at plus 200 is really tempting.
Yeah, I've been in a predicament this week. So I was doing some digging. The fighting nerds are actually, their gym as a whole are on a 40 win streak over the last 3 years. They have 14 of those fights have been in the UFC.
40 wins?
40 wins. Like
in a
the gym,
row for the whole gym?
the whole gym is, yes. Over the gym is undefeated in the last 3 years. It's almost 3 years.
What?
Yeah.
That's an impressive statistic. Why haven't I heard that anywhere before?
Well, because I don't know. And I could be wrong. I got my information from a Reddit thread, but I checked it as quickly because I know a female lost in the UFC, and I think that's what started this streak. And I can't find a loss from any of their fighters. So anybody out there wants to correct me, do it. But I'm going with it. But you're right.
Yeah.
Plus 200 for Jared Cannonier.
So are you picking Cannonier?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
So, all right, let's talk through this. So Borjalho's on a hot streak. There's no doubt about that. But he has not fought anywhere near the level of competition as a Jared Cannonier. And we've seen this in the past few months where young prospects like this take too big of a leap. This is a big leap. Paul Craig was probably just outside the top 15. Now you're putting him in there against a guy who has been in there with the best of the best. You know, his only losses at middleweight are to Imavov, who TKO'd him in his last fight, Israel Adesanya, former champion, and Robert Whittaker, former champion. So we know Cannonier's durable. We know he can perform under the bright lights in a main event because he's done it many times. We know he's got knockout power. We know he can wrestle. But he's 40 years old. And he's coming off of a TKO loss at 40.
Not that long ago, right? Either. Wasn't it June?
I can pull that up real quick. But, you know, Borjalho is young. He's coming from a camp of killers. So the Imavov loss was just in June 8th. And it was, you know, it was a hard-fought war. It was the fourth round. He got TKO'd. Borjalho is on a huge hot streak. He hasn't lost a fight since 2015. And he's never been finished. Here's the thing. Like, my gut says Borjalho wins. But I can't picture how. I don't think he knocks Cannonier out. I know he's got decent wrestling, but I don't think he's got the wrestling to take Cannonier down. And Cannonier's not a guy who gets submitted easily. So, like I said, my gut is Brahalio wins, but my brain says, well, how does he do it? And that's the part I can't quite put together. Yeah, Cannonier has never been submitted in 24 professional fights.
You make a good point, but I think I can't go against the fighting nerds. I'm going to take Brahalio.
Yeah, I can't argue with that pick, even though that's the only way I can put it. My gut says Brahalio wins, but my brain can't determine how he gets it done. If that makes
We're going
sense.
to find out.
Yeah, we're going to find out. All right, official pick, Kyle Brahalio. Do you have a prediction of how he gets it done?
Probably just a decision.
Okay. Yeah, I would think. All right, co-main event. Now, this is where the card kind of starts to fall apart here, in my opinion. We got some bizarre matchups here, but the co-main event: Angela Hill and Tabitha Ricci. So Angela Hill, who fights like every other week, 2-fight win streak. She submitted Luana Pinheiro in her last fight with a guillotine. It was her first career submission after a long career. 39 years old. Whereas Tabitha Ricci, 1-fight winning streak. Win over Tisha Pennington in her last fight, formerly Tisha Torres. Split decision win. Angela Hill, slight favorite?
Yeah, no. I mean, minus 105, minus 115.
Okay, so it's a pick 'em. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, who you going with here?
Going with Angela Hill. She's on the win streak. Ricci always starts fast, but Angela's very durable. Her Instagram page, I was just creeping on it today. She looks ready to, she looks in shape, ready to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I always root for Hill, so in a pick 'em, I'm going to put my money with her just so I can root the same.
Okay. Fair enough. Do you ever like bet against somebody that you root for just because you feel like it'll give them some good energy?
Say it again?
So, like, say you want Angela Hill to win, but you feel like if you put money on her, she'll lose. So you put money on the other chick?
No, I don't believe any of that crap.
You don't buy into that stuff?
No.
All right. Here's a bizarre matchup, in my opinion. And is this on the main card for what you're looking at? Robert
Yes, the next two
Valentin
fights are what we're...
Ryan Loder.
Yeah.
These two guys both making their UFC debut. Why are they on the main card? Do you know anything about this?
Yeah, I know why. The next two fights are the finale of the Ultimate Fighter season.
Oh. All right. That makes more sense now then.
Yeah. But that's how good the Ultimate Fighter is doing. Is the host of MMA podcast didn't even know this. So that's why I say we skip these next two fights, because I didn't watch this shit.
I didn't watch what I watched like the commercial for it, and I was like, this shit looks terrible.
I think I watched the first, I was like, okay, this season I'm just gonna. I watched the first episode and I'm like, this sucks. But the fights are fights, so I'll just wait until the season's over and I'll just watch all the fights. Just watch the last 10 minutes of each episode. But then I totally forgot, and here we are, and I don't know.
Let me ask you this, off topic. What was your favorite season of The Ultimate Fighter? Did you watch much of it?
I mean, I watched, I'd say about at least I've watched the last 10, but nothing before that. So by the time I arrived at the Ultimate Fighter, it wasn't that good. You might throw in one. I'm trying to think. I
Were
did
you
watch
around for
one.
the Conor McGregor Uriah Faber season? That was
No,
season 22.
no. I
That's a
think the
good one.
only one I remember watching way before I got into the UFC was the one with Koscheck, whoever he was with.
He was coaching.
Yes.
Then he was probably coaching against GSP.
Yeah, maybe.
I
But
can't remember if Koscheck coached 1 or 2 seasons. So season 22 was probably the last good one, in my opinion. That was the season that our buddy Billy Quarantello was on. And that was Conor McGregor versus Uriah Faber. And they had like a Team Europe versus Team USA thing going on, which was kind of awkward and cringy. But it was also the season where they were just finding out that TJ Dillashaw was leaving Team Alpha Male, but he was also a coach on the show. And Connor had kind of called it out. He was like, "Oh, that little snake in the grass. There he is." And Cody Garbrandt, funnily enough, went to bat for TJ Dillashaw. Like, he's not leaving our team. Fuck you, Connor. And he was trying to fight Connor on the set of the show. And then it turned out, like, right after that, Dillashaw did leave and went to train with Bang Ludwig in Colorado.
yeah, I didn't watch that one, but I couldn't imagine being like, okay, maybe I want to make it to UFC one day, and then like the first day you deal with them, you're on the Ultimate Fighter with Conor McGregor. You're like, well, this is going very well.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Conor McGregor,
But I will say, if you ever get bored and you decide like, hey, I'll go back and watch some Ultimate Fighter. By far, the best season is season 1 by a landslide. Season 1 is amazing. I remember watching it live and I was like, I can't believe this is a fucking show. Now, I might have a little bit of bias because I was watching it as it unfolded, but if you go back and watch it and you see all the people on that show who went on to be great fighters, like it was the best cast. You know, you had Diego Sanchez, Kenny Florian, Josh Koscheck, Chris Lieben, Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner. You had so many guys who went on to have great careers after that. And it was Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell were the coaches. And it was amazing. My second favorite season that I highly recommend, season 6, which was Matt Serra coaching against Matt Hughes. That was a really good one. That was mutual acquaintance Matt Arroyo was on that season, who is now the owner of Gracie Tampa South here in the Tampa Bay area. But that was a fun season.
I remember the season finale of one because I had some buddies that were watching it, and they were like, they had a party that was over there, and we watched the finale. But other than that, I really didn't pay attention. But I'll go check this out, but probably not.
The best fight that ever came out of a tough season was the finale of season 4, and it was Pete Dragosell versus Scott Smith. And to this day, it was the craziest ending of a fight I've ever seen.
I'll go check it out.
I'll leave it at that. And season 4 was awesome as well. That's my third favorite season, and this will be the last one because it was the comeback season. So it was guys who had all been cut from the UFC previously, and they bring them all back and put them in the house. So it was a bunch of veterans. It was a bunch of drama. Long story short, Matt Serra was on that season, winds up winning. And the whole thing was the winner of this season gets a title shot at 170 and at 185. So Matt Serra gets a title shot for winning that season. And everybody thought, like, Matt Serra is just a blown up lightweight. They're going to put him in there with GSP because there was nobody to fight GSP at that time. So they put Matt Serra in there, and then that became the biggest upset in UFC history when Matt Serra knocked out GSP.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that fight.
Yeah. And then what everybody forgets is that Travis Lutter won that season at 185 pounds and got a title shot against Anderson Silva, but he missed weight and then he got submitted. So nobody talks about that one. But let's continue here. All right. So we're going to skip the Ultimate Fighter, guys. And we got Neil Magny against the undefeated Michael Morales. Morales 16-0. Is Morales favored in this one?
Well, it's changed since I put the odds on my notes today. So now it is minus 900 for Michael Morales, opposite plus 600 for Neil Magny.
What? So you can get Neil Magny for plus 600 against a guy. Who is this guy fought? Jake Matthews and Max Griffin. His last 2 wins. Decisions over both. Man, Neil Magny at plus 600 against a kid who's never fought elite competition is really tempting. I don't know. What's your pick, though?
Well, I'm taking Neil Magny because it's plus 600 and it's Neil Magny.
Okay. So,
but I think the safe bet, if somebody wanted to make a safe bet, would be the over at 2.5 at minus 180.
Yeah, because this one's going the distance. I don't think anybody's getting finished in this one.
Yeah, so we might be dealing with a bit of judge bias here, but fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, Neil Magny plays spoiler quite a bit. I'm going to throw up this YouTube comment right here from Rick Allen. It says, bro, you blow. All right, fuck you, Rick Allen. Come fight me. Piece of shit. All right, Edmund Shabazian against Gerald Meerschaert. So I don't know a whole lot about gambling, but I do know that the guys who do know about gambling that I listen to, like Dan Tom and Brian Petrie, they emphasize consistency. You know, if they're going to put their money on somebody, they want to see someone who's consistent, and they would put that over skills over everything else. They value the consistency. You couldn't have 2 more inconsistent guys in this matchup. You have Gerald Meerschaert. I think he's close to, or he might have the most submissions in middleweight history. He might be creeping up on most submissions in UFC history. And Shabazian was a hot young prospect who just got fast-tracked too quickly. And has been hot and cold ever since. Is this a pick'em?
No, Meerschaert's plus 235.
I would. Oh, shit. I mean, gut instinct. I'd take that plus money on Meerschaert. Like you just.
Man, I hope you. I hate when you do have the same idea I did, because that's what I'm doing. Because you put it better, but yeah, they're inconsistent. So let's put our dollar where you have the most possibility of making more money.
Yeah, it's not like. So, what are the odds on Shabazian?
Minus 310.
Yeah, I mean, why would you bet?
So you bet $1, you get $1.32.
How does it work? If I bet $310, I win $100.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, why would I bet that on a guy who's inconsistent when I can just bet on the other guy who's inconsistent and win more money potentially? Yeah, that makes no sense. All right. So are you making some bets on the prelims since you decided to skip?
No, because I wasn't do the Longo guy, but it looks like he's not a Longo guy anymore. So screw it.
Oh, Dennis Bazooki is not at Longo's anymore?
I haven't heard from Longo, but he's living in Florida.
Hmm. I mean, his association on Sherdog is still Longo Weidman MMA.
I guess we're going to find out this weekend, but he had a dropout, and now he's going to fight this Francis Marshall, and I don't know who that is.
Francis Marshall was like pretty hot coming into the UFC, but he was not very experienced. Now he's on a 2-fight win streak, but Bazookia was in the same boat. He was on a hot streak coming into the UFC, 2 losses in a row, and then he won his last fight very impressively against Connor Matthews. But yeah, I would lean towards Bazookia on this one. What are the odds? I would think because Bazookia is coming off of that TKO win, your guard dog's going off over there. You getting a home invasion right now?
No, I'm good. Somebody just probably a rabbit or something. I don't see odds for this fight.
All right, so we're not betting on that. Is there anything else in the prelims that
Nope.
you throwing a couple of bucks on Kong Wang?
Nope. We're doing $4 this week. Cheap week, but we got some big favorites in there, so maybe we'll make some money.
We got
big
Victoria
underdogs.
Leonardo on the opening fight. She's almost got the Diego Lopez haircut.
Well, she's facing a woman by the name of Kong Wang, and Miss Kong Wang is a minus 1,200 favorite.
Yeah, but let me show you this. Let me show you this real quick. I haven't done this in a while. Pull up the screen here. Look at the haircut on this girl. Victoria Leonardo.
Wow, I think that's old because I Googled it real quick. I don't think she has that haircut anymore.
Oh, man. She's got the Diego Lopez, like, with a mullet.
Yeah, now she has very long, nice brown hair.
Oh, man. So she got rid of the
somebody
emo
does not
bangs
like
here?
her. Wait a minute. It looks like she does commentary, some sort of thing for the UFC. There's a lot of pictures of her holding a UFC mic.
She's from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Oh, well, good luck, because a lot of people don't think you're going to win.
Well, you know, you're going up against an undefeated Kong Wang. What's the deal with Kong Wang here? Let's pull her up. This looks like her picture looks like it's right out of a Tekken video game.
Yeah.
Like, why does it look like this?
Looks like a fight poster.
Her picture's all like pixelated. It really looks like a late 1990s
Whoa.
video game picture.
Kong Wang has fought Shevchenko.
Where are you seeing that?
Kowloon Fight 33. 8 years ago. It's not MMA.
Not an MMA. Okay.
Yeah, kickboxing.
So she's only got 5 MMA fights. She's 5-0.
So maybe that is why she's so favored.
Yeah, she's 5-0 in MMA, but only 1 TKO. She's got 2 submissions. All right. Kong Wang, the Joker. All right. How do I turn this off here? Forget.
Kickboxing record, 8 wins, 1 draw.
All right.
And she's making her debut. So we gotta, yeah.
All right. So, you said you have a hot take.
Yeah. So, as everybody saw, Merab suffered a cut this week. It sucks. I have Dana's opinion on that.
Cut. What do you know about Merab's cutting? Can you make any?
The whole world knows about Merab's cut. He posted it.
I mean, our guys are so dumb. It's next level, unbelievable. It's all the stuff that I talk about boxing. What I will give boxing is when something happens in a camp, man, let me tell you what, it does not leak. You know, our guys can't fucking wait to throw it up on social media. It's a small cut. It's no big deal, but obviously needed to be posted.
Against a guy like O'Malley, who is a sharpshooter and who's a very accurate puncher, now all of a sudden there's a big target for him.
And why the fuck would you want him to know that? It is next level stupid. Some of these guys are so stupid, it's mind-boggling.
So,
You know, this is the way that every employer dreams about talking about their employees in public.
you know what? It's how I wish my boss would talk to me. I wish he would talk to me that way. We don't have to play the politic bullshit. But I happen to disagree with Dana White. It's very unfortunate that we have this cut, but I think posting it, making it known to the public, might be the best option for Rob, because O'Malley is the type of guy. He has an ego. He doesn't want to lose, or he doesn't want to win and have the whole internet go, "Oh, well, yeah, you just beat him because you fucked up that cut." You know, he has the cut. If he tried to hide it these days, you know, Rob's around Vegas. Someone's gonna see him cut, and the word's gonna get to Sean O'Malley's camp, and it might not make it to the public. That way, the public all knows. Everyone's gonna know. I don't think it's gonna change the fight at all, other than the fact that if O'Malley did learn of it without the public knowing, he might be more likely to target that side of his face. But you know what's O'Malley gonna? Oh, I'm gonna punch him on the right side of the face more than the left side, or I don't know. I'm not saying that this cut might not cause the end of the, like, it might definitely give Marab a big problem, but I don't think making it known to the world was a bad idea.
No, I got to side with Dana on this one. I think it's pretty stupid, especially because, like, I get what you're saying. I get your point that O'Malley doesn't want the negativity of people saying, like, "Oh, you just took advantage because you knew he had a cut." But I don't think that will be the narrative, because I think O'Malley's a smart guy. So if he targets the cut, cuts him a Rob, he gets blood in his face, and then he you know, maybe he can't see, TKOs him, or maybe doctor stoppage because of the cut. Whatever the case, once the fight ends and O'Malley gets the microphone, he's going to be so quick to distract from how the fight ended. And he's going to have such good one-liners in the post-fight interview that the fact that he beat him because of the cut is going to be forgotten quickly.
I don't know, man. Like, O'Malley's famous enough that he has a shitload of haters. You know, one of them might be on this show. I don't know, but like, I think of people like, I just think that him posting it was his best option to make that cut affect the end outcome of the fight. I'm not saying it's gonna. I don't know. I'll take the shot because I can't express my opinion.
Yeah, but Dana's to Dana's point, like when this happened to Oliveira, like instead of Oliveira going to the UFC and getting like the plastic surgeon that they could have provided, that's probably why Dana was so triggered about this, where Dana said like they could have sent Oliveira to a surgeon that could have stitched it from the inside or whatever, and like maybe they could have done the same with Merab if he had quietly gone to the UFC like, "Hey, I got this cut," but instead he's like, "Hey, I'm at the doctor's office. Look at my face, cut open."
That's another good point, because he definitely had a medical professional taking care of it. You couldn't see, but she at least was taking the proper, precautions. But it didn't look like he was at a plastic surgeon. I don't know.
Yeah. It was Vegas. He could have been at a tattoo parlor. They were just going to tattoo over it, like tattoo skin over it to make it look like
But what a
Make it look
bummer,
like
man. That's got to be a bummer, and it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, I know why Dana's pissed because that's the headline of his whatever $3 million
Yeah.
sphere card. But I
Yeah,
guess
the
that's what
card that he's been fantasizing about since the sphere opened.
yeah. But
And
all right,
now-
all I have is a fireball. Cheers.
All right, so for those of you who don't know the rules of hot take or take a shot, Matt presents me with a hot take. And if he can't change my mind about it, he's got to take a shot. So down goes that syrupy fireball. How'd it taste?
Fireball. It's right middle of the road. Yeah. If
Did
you're
you have
out
a
of white
fireball
trash-
phase ever?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we might have had a bigger Golden Slugger phase, but Jägermeister was definitely the jam when I was illegally consuming alcohol at people's houses whose parents weren't there.
Jaeger was my thing in college. Do you remember that viral video of that guy? He was like, Jaeger bombs.
No.
Oh man, that was before your time. It was one of the first viral videos. This guy who was dressed up like he was from the Jersey Shore. He had the spiky hair and he had like the tennis sweatbands on. And he was like, you know what we're doing at the club? Fucking Jaeger bombs. And he would just like point. He would just keep pointing like Jaeger bombs, and that was the whole video. But everybody was watching that video when I was in college, and we did a lot of Jaeger bombs. Now I don't think I could drink Jaeger or Red Bull, so
Oh, you don't like Red Bull?
I don't do any caffeine at all.
Sorry.
I don't need it.
No. I do.
I've been off of it for like 6 months now. So I used to just do like 1 cup of coffee in the morning. Now I don't even do that.
We're like 52 minutes in, so nobody's left. What'd that do to your shitting?
Still pretty regular.
Huh, that's good to know.
I drink instead of the coffee, I drink just like hot water with electrolytes in the morning.
Don't tell anybody that.
I just told everybody.
What? You just microwave electrolytes and no, you probably heat it up on the stove, don't you?
No, I have like a little how my wife bought this thing. It's used to like make like steamed milk for lattes, but I just heat up my water with it. I heat up water with chocolate electrolytes and I put some collagen powder in there. Get a
Some
little
what?
protein. Huh?
What? Powder?
Collagen.
Oh, never heard of it.
So it's just like a strain of protein. So it's just like unflavored protein powder and chocolate electrolytes and hot water. And that's how I start my day.
Well, I feel sorry for you, man.
Why?
I don't know. I'd like my cup of coffee. I make an egg McMuffin. You know,
Yeah, I used to.
Couple Marvel
I enjoyed
Lights.
the ritual of a cup of coffee more than I enjoyed like the effects of the caffeine. Like I don't need the caffeine. I just enjoyed having like a hot beverage in the morning, and I still do that.
yeah, I enjoy the coffee, but I've made a change. I only have 1 cup of coffee a day. I switch it to tea. I know that's still some caffeine. I don't know how much caffeine, but I don't know. Hey, if you like it, I guess.
I find
keep at it.
since not having any caffeine, my sleep is better, and I don't get like jittery during the day. I used to drink a lot of coffee, like a lot. I would drink like 2.5 cups in the morning, and then at around 2 or 3 o'clock, I would have another cup. And I know it's not a lot compared
That
to
is
most
not
people,
a lot.
but it was a lot for me. And now I don't drink anything. So
The guy beside me at work has 11-shot cup of coffee every morning.
oof.
Yeah, it's like rocket fuel. I don't. I like 1 cup. I just like the bitterness. I don't know. The bitterness is a big.
I do too. And I like When I was in college, I drank a lot of coffee. I would drink it pretty much all day. And on campus at the good old University of Albany in upstate New York, they switched to Starbucks coffee, I think my junior year. And they would have like, it would be Starbucks coffee, but it would be like burnt.
Yeah, it's like the Starbucks sells the shit they burn to colleges, and
Yeah. And that's what we had. And everybody else complained about it. And I loved it. I love like burnt, like dark roast coffee.
yeah, that's the way I prefer my coffee. I'd rather have the burnt shit than. Have you ever had like the almost sour roast? It's so unroasted, it's sour.
No,
Oh, it's so
yeah, that's nasty.
it's disgusting.
Yeah, but yeah, college is where I I developed a relationship with Starbucks coffee, and I still enjoy their dark roast coffee, but I just I don't drink it anymore. I don't like the way caffeine makes me feel anymore. But that's getting old, I guess.
Well, if I think the worst thing that got you addiction you got at college was Starbucks coffee, I think you're doing just fine.
Yeah, well, there's also this stuff, which I've
Yeah.
also tapered back quite
Some
a bit.
people, walk out with a nasty coke habit and OnlyFans with 6 followers.
I mean, that's 6 more followers than I would have on OnlyFans, but
Yeah, but you're not showing your butthole. Hey, we're off next week.
oh, are we?
Yeah.
Well, you know what we should do then? We should book some guests.
Oh, I'm down.
All right.
I would love to interview. I was thinking about this. We get behind a gym, and it just so happens we don't have a damn Spanish translator because I don't think we can talk to any of the fighting nerds.
Well, I can speak Spanish, but we need a Portuguese translator.
Wait a minute. I thought they're from Mexico.
No, they're Brazil, man.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know if I can speak Spanish well enough to translate on a podcast either. My brother-in-law speaks Portuguese.
See what the manimal's doing.
Well, we got a couple of guys who are main eventing and co-main eventing BKFC
Oh,
in a
yeah.
couple of weeks, so maybe
Yeah,
we
that's a
grab
good
one of
idea.
them
That's a great
for an
idea.
interview. Our buddy Dave Mundell and my buddy Ryan Reber, who's going to be fighting for the bantamweight title on September 13th in Hollywood, Florida. And I will be in attendance for that. So if anybody's planning to be out there, come say hello.
Yeah, I'd like to meet Ryan Reber. It's weird. A lot of people I know in real life know him in real life, or somehow we haven't met up. And I know he likes to talk some fun conspiracy shit.
We can go off the rails with Ryan Reber, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
I can go off the rails.
All right. Well, I can text him as soon as we're done here, and maybe we'll book him for next Thursday. I'm going to try and get a regular episode on Sunday, and then maybe Thursday we'll interview Ryan Reber and or Dave Mundell or both. Maybe we can get them both on here.
Yeah, whatever. I'm down.
Yeah. Well, let's figure that out. All right. Anything else you want to get off your chest?
Nope.
All right, folks. That's all we got for this week. So until next time, cheers, everybody. Goodbye.